Well, Captain Anderson's is full of history, and it's become a landmark here on Panama City Beach. And I am here with one of the owners, Yanni Petronas. And Yanni, another really cool thing about the history here is how you all acquired your really extensive wine list. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, we had a situation that occurred probably in excess of 10 years ago where my uncle was admiring a piece of property on St. Andrews Bay. And the home site that was there had a widow living in the home, and she had reached the point of her life where the family members were going to put her in an assisted living facility, and they were basically going to liquidate her assets and so forth. And my uncle did get the contract to buy the home, so they were moving forward on vacating the home site, and in the process of clearing out the home, her children identified the fact there's a wine cellar within the home that we didn't know about, and made it available for us to look at and a couple of other parties to look at. Well, below the home, there was a below-grade cellar that had about 2,500 bottles of French wines.
Wow.
Most of them were 1982 vintage, which was a huge year for the French wine industry, and going back as far as 1959. There were 3 parties that showed an interest. We were one of the bidding parties, and we did acquire the list, or acquire the inventory. All of a sudden, traditionally, we were not a restaurant that had much of a collection of French wines, to going to a restaurant that had a huge depth of French wines, unlike anything in the area. So as of the acquisition of that product, we started submitting our entire list to Wine Spectator, and that's what started the Award of Excellence presentation that we've been receiving for the last 10 plus years. In fact, here's the one that we just got a couple of weeks ago in the mail. We haven't even had a chance to frame it yet, but part of the reason we've gotten it is because of the collection that we acquired right here in our backyard.
So do you still have some of those original French wines in your cellar?
We do. We have a pretty extensive collection of that product still here on site. We've of course sold many of them over the years. You know, that type of product is a very prestigious product line to have and be able to represent, but there's not a lot of people that are eager to spend that kind of money on the product. But it draws a lot of talk, a lot of fascination, and a lot of interest from the people, and it's worked out well for us.
So I've got to ask, with all that French wine, can I ask what's the most expensive bottle you have sold?
We have one of the most prestigious labels that I'm ever been exposed to or aware of is called Petrus, and it is a red French wine, and we have 3 vintages, a 59, a 60, and 62. And we had a meeting planner in Miami one year that was charged with finding certain vintages of certain wines for a particular meeting going on. Well, she sought that particular product on the internet, and Captain Anderson's came up on the list for 1959 Petrus, and she was frantically calling us because she found that particular bottle. Well, she purchased the bottle, had it shipped to Miami, insured it, and to the tune of $4,800.
Oh.
And we still have 2 of the bottles of Petrus still left, and the 1961 vintage, which is the one that we didn't get of the series, is probably a $20,000 bottle. But that's the one that was not in the collection. So,
right.
But it's been a good little story.
Well, whether you're looking to spend $20,000 on a bottle of wine or something, you know, in the mid-20s, Captain Anderson's is the place to be. They've got a great wine menu. It's always changing. It's progressive. And they even have a captain's list. So if you're looking for something a little more prestigious, you can find it there. But make sure you stop by and check it out right here on historic Grand Lagoon at Captain Anderson's.